you don't need to be a genius to come up with good marketing, because obviously you need a good product at the start, but then you need to figure out, all right, how can I market it the best? And then when you figure that out, that's when you make all your ads. You need to figure out what distribution channels will work the best for your product.
This is Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. We are the #1 business show on the planet with over 1 million downloads a month. Taking the BS out of business for over 6 years and over 400 episodes. You ready to start snapping necks and cashing checks? Turn it up. It starts right about now.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Right About Now. I'm Ryan Alford, your host. You know, over the Radcast, we said if it's radical, we cover it. Well, it's still, if it's radical, we cover it. And, you know, this topic comes up a lot. You know, people think they know things. Well, we're here to enlighten today. Yeah, I'll just leave it there. I'll leave the cliffhanger. We got Michael Noicos. What's up, Michael?
What's up, Ryan?
Hey, man. Founder of Banx Management. I know we're going to get into all that. You got your engineering and economics degrees and education and all this stuff. And digital marketing. Oh, correct. You know?
Yeah, correct.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good.
Welcome to Green G Vegas, as we call it.
G Vegas. Yeah, it was, definitely looked like that a little bit in downtown. I actually just came from Vegas, a little bit smaller here, but
yeah, it's kind of a joke for the locals. I don't know that we're anything like Vegas, but it's probably I don't know. There's probably more economic activity and things going on, cultural things, but sort of just a locals joke. But it is a good town, and we're happy that you're here with us, and looking forward to just talking, man. Let's set the table maybe for the audience. Who the hell is Michael Noicos?
Yeah, so I'm 28 years old from Australia, as you can probably tell by the accent.
I couldn't tell, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure
like you couldn't tell that I'm from the south of the U.S.
Yeah, never, nah. You've got
we can't have to hide the accent day. I don't think either one of us would.
I don't think you could if you tried, to be honest. Neither could I. Yeah. But yeah, nah, so I'm from Australia, 28 years old. And yeah, I've been doing all sorts of online business making money making ventures on the internet specifically for about 10 or 11 years now. So the very first time I tried, I actually just finished high school and I was in my first year of college. And yeah, I just gave a business, I think it was like drop shipping a try. So, you know, went through all of that, made a lot of mistakes, made a couple little right moves, made a little bit of money, a few $1,000s here, a few thousand there. And at the time I was 18, 17 years old. I thought I was the king, you know. I thought, whoo.
Got a little money in the pocket.
I was thinking, this could. And I was calculating it by how many Saturday nights it would last me, you know. I'd be like, oh yeah, Saturday night out, $100. I've got my year covered. Yeah, let's go, you know. So it started off that way because I never really expected that the online space was just such a lucrative place to make money. But obviously now my perspective has shifted. And yeah, because at the time I was just thinking, okay, I'm at college. I'm doing a degree in engineering. I'm doing a degree in economics. I'm going to go that way and I'm going to work my way up the corporate ladder, you know, start low and be nice to my boss.
Bring him, you know,
bring him his morning coffee, all of that. Ask him, do extra work, do overtime, and slowly, you know, after a couple years of work and make $100,000 a year, and then maybe when I was 40, I'd be making $200,000 a year, and you know, I'd be set.
You'd be on your way.
That's what I thought at the time.
Yeah.
But I guess
that sounds like the American dream. Yeah. I guess it's the Australian dream too.
Yeah, well, I guess my perspective has shifted now. So I've run about 10 or 15 different digital companies by now. A lot of them had success for a few months, but then there would be a little problem that came up along the way and it inevitably made me shut it down because it got too hard, and then I'd go back to college or I'd go back to my job, and then inevitably every couple months I'd be like, hang on, what am I doing here? I'm going nowhere. Let's find another business, right? So I've done everything online, from drop shipping to affiliate marketing to social media management to blog writing to trying to make a YouTube channel to so much different types of things. But yeah, about before that, probably one where I had reasonable success, I'd say, where I was actually making more than a full-time income for most, actually a lot more, was when I was doing e-commerce consulting. So I got quite good at like copywriting and marketing. So I'd give my services to big companies that were generating about $10 million a year or more online, and I'd help them improve their marketing, like with Facebook and Instagram, and helping them build their funnels. So anything to do with marketing for e-commerce products, I would pretty much give them my expertise on that. So I learned how to do outreach as well. I learned how to do sales with that. So obviously I'd need to, advertise to those people to get their attention, to then get on the phone with them or a Zoom call with them and pitch them my service and convince them to give me their money so that I'd help them make more money, So it's come a long way from when I was 18 years old, selling a little dog bed online, to then actually, running more of what I call a proper or legitimate business. And
but it sounds like you were along the way sharpening the tools, because I'm hearing a lot of things that translate to any business, I think sales and marketing translate that. Let's just say they call it in football. In college football, the coaches will say defense will travel. Yeah. I.e., you go on the road, the defense is, if you got a good defense, it'll travel. Yeah. Well, sales and marketing travel. Yeah. They go with you wherever you go.
Does it ever, yeah. I mean, even just in selling, I think I've gotten a lot better at speaking. I mean, when I was 18 years old, oh gosh, I couldn't even speak to a girl, let alone, speak to someone and try and convince them to give me $30,000 on the spot. Like that would never happen. I would have been like, but yeah, it comes along the way as you try, well, not necessarily try, but as you intentionally actually focus on sharpening your skill set, getting better at what you do. I guess practice does make perfect in that regard, as long as your practice is right. It's like, if you practice, I don't know, like a gym analogy, let's say if you go to the gym, if you're trying to practice at the gym or train, it's like, I hate it when people say, oh, I'm going to exercise. Why don't you go to train? Because training, you're actually focusing on something, trying to get better, whether it's, all right, today I'm training my chest, so I'm going to get my chest bigger. But if you exercise, I just imagine someone just standing there, just, with the fairies up there, just doing nothing.
I see a lot of those people. And look, they're there, which is,
it's better than nothing.
Better than nothing. But I'm not seeing a lot of, I don't see a plan.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And yeah, it's like if you have a plan as to how you're going to upskill yourself so you can get to that point where you are making, a good level of money, which is what most people want. I don't really care, what people say. I don't care about money. Yes, you do. Why do you go to your job? Yeah. A lot of people, especially working a 9 to 5 that they hate, you can tell. They say, oh man, I don't care about money. Yes, you do. Or else why would you be working your job?
Yeah.
And if they really don't, it's like, well, you say you don't like your job. Why do you do it? Oh, I need money to eat. Well, what if you could find something where you could just work for 1 hour a day? Yeah. And then you've got the other 23 hours to do what you want, and you'd still be making the same amount of money.
Yeah. Money's leverage.
You can't argue with that.
I mean, there's a million, we could talk for hours about money, people's perspective on it. And it's just
other people's time.
It's a means to an end. And, once you get out of the thinking you can buy your way to happiness, which you can't. No. But it does afford leverage and time and flexibility.
Does it ever?
So that's really more of what it's about.
Yeah, it's really, I guess, it's just being able to leverage other people's time, and because that's all money is. You give someone money for their time, whether it's the farmer out, 1,000, 2,000 miles away that's help make milk so you can put some milk in your coffee or whatever, creamer as you call it here in America. Yeah. Or, if you pay someone like to do some work for you, whether it's like, all right, I'm going to pay you to be my employee, or I'm going to pay you to do this for me, or I'm going to pay you for some food, or if you go to a restaurant or a hotel, so you don't need to do it yourself.
Yep, exactly.
That's all it is. And there's nothing wrong whatsoever with a lot of money. People that say, oh, money's evil. No, it's not. The more money you have, it just makes you more of what you are. So if you're an evil person, you'll get real evil with money, that's for sure. You'd become an absolute.
99% of the people that say that money is evil don't have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just say
I reckon 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't know. It's not an ego thing. It's just you either, like for me personally, I like to control my own time.
Yeah.
And you can't control your own time if you don't have money.
Of course you can't.
And it doesn't mean you have to be a billionaire necessarily, but you've got to be in a position where you have options, you know? And I think that's what money equals options.
Yeah.
In everything.
I agree. Yeah. Even like just before I was coming here, I had a flight that I'd missed because of a few airport delays. And I was telling you about that earlier, Ryan. And yeah, so, you know, if say I didn't have money, I would have been like, oh crap, I need to get to South Carolina tomorrow. Oh, I don't have money. What am I going to do? I just went, I don't care how much the ticket is. I need to get there for something. Yep. Looked on Google. I didn't even look at the price. I just looked at the time, you know. It's like when you go to a restaurant at some point, oh, I want the steak. Oh, that steak's $80. Can't do it. You know, you lost your flexibility, as you were saying earlier. It's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. And anyone who says so, their perspective was framed wrong, probably by their parents when they were young, and they just haven't gotten out of it. And there's nothing evil about money. Money's good.
But you've been learning that along the way in multiple businesses, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it's really just access to other people's time. That's all it is.
So talk to me, you know, before we transition to the here and the now, you know, the e-com thing is interesting.
Yeah.
You know, physical product is not an easy business, moving it.
No.
You know, distribution, sales, inventory. I mean, maybe, you know, there's a lot of people that listen that might be running e-com, and this isn't an e-com episode, but are there like key learnings, like if they're like some, you know, things that you learned from everything that you went through?
Yeah, I think it's really just down to, with e-com, gosh, there's a lot I could talk about. It's not even what I'm here today for.
No.
But that's still what I still remember a lot because, I still had a lot of success, and I worked with a lot of different companies in e-com that were all doing
maybe just figures, simplify it to like, you know, if you, I know there's 100 different things. Yeah. You know, it's not just one, but like.
I think obviously you need a good product. That's one thing. You can't hawk shit. You know?
Yeah.
You need to sell a good product that a lot of people genuinely want, so that you're not you don't need to be a genius to come up with good marketing, because obviously you need a good product at the start, but then you need to figure out, all right, how can I market it the best? And then when you figure that out, that's when you make all your ads. You need to figure out what distribution channels will work the best for your product. So for some, it's building up an email list and marketing through that. Because say, for example, I know if you're in the supplement space online, a lot of supplement sales happen, say, the 30-year-old to about 60-year-old demographic. Getting them on an email list and just blasting them, that works incredibly well. So you need to figure out, all right, how can I get the correct people on my email list for the cheapest amount possible? And then make sure that my email copywriter knows what he's doing. So that when we blast out those emails 2-3 times a week, they actually convert.
Yeah.
So we can actually make money. Because
that's where, I mean, we work with clients on e-com, and the fastest like return on money is usually what we do to their email. Yeah. Because it's like, it's usually the most untapped. Yeah. Either they send too many and it's not good, or they don't send enough, or it's a combination of things. And I think with a lot of with e-com, after all your distribution, your marketing costs, your product costs, most e-commerce companies, unless they've got a 10x markup on their product, their margins are so damn slim. So one thing that they really need to work on, I like to call it acquisition and ascension. So they need to, I guess, work on first acquiring customers, and they need to have something where they can constantly resell. If you've got a product where you sell someone once and then they'll never buy from you again, difficult. It's real difficult. It's real difficult. And that kind of transitions over to my current talent management company as well. You need to get in a customer and then keep selling to them, because it's easier. It's so much cheaper. I think the number is it's about, 18 times cheaper to remarket to someone that's already bought from you
than to try and get in a new customer from cold marketing.
Yeah.
It's 18, something like that. Insanity. So if it costs you $100 to find a new customer, it'll just cost you $2.50 or $3, maybe $4 most to remarket to a current customer to get them to buy something else from you again. That's
the unlock for a lot of things. It's definitely e-com, but it's sort of everything in sales. Yeah. And it's sort of the lost art because customer relationship management and customer management isn't taught as often as sales.
Yeah.
You know, new sales, new leads. That's all you hear about, you know, and it's important. You need a pipeline of new, but you can't forget what it takes to kind of nurture and grow.
Oh, there's way more money in the back end, or as I like to call it, the ascension.
Yeah, it's like, well, lifetime value. Yes. Lifetime value of the customer.
Yes.
You know, because a lot of people just look at it as, like you said, one sale. Okay, I got him. All right, next one. Need more new. But you need to be thinking about the life cycle of that whole thing. But so where the hell did everything today come from? You know, we're building here to a
big cliffhanger, as you said.
Yeah, to the here and the now. But where did all of this kind of come to fruition?
Yeah, so it was a little bit after COVID happened, or the pandemic, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever it was.
I don't think anybody, no matter where you fall on it, it's like completely clear.
Yeah.
But something, I mean, it was definitely serious and I don't know, it caused a lot of issues.
Yeah. Yeah. So after the pandemic a few years ago, myself and my business partner, we were both actually in e-commerce at the time. We were working together, doing the kind of e-commerce consultation. And yeah, we essentially just had another idea for a little side business because both of us, we were always hungry. We'd both actually moved from our hometowns to the same place. We were living right next door. So we were working together every single day and we were really, you know, just looking, especially at our young age. At the time I was maybe 25, he was 23. We had a lot of energy. We were just looking to go. All right, what's next? Let's do this. We were making good money, but we wanted to make great money where, you know, like private jet money. That's our goal, right? And we were essentially, we were just thinking, all right, what's another business we can make? We knew we could run, we got very good at making businesses passive, meaning having the ability to run a business where you don't have to trade your time for money. We weren't interested in any type of business. We were fine to trade our time to set up systems within our business, but we weren't happy to, all right, if we do this task, we'll make $200 this hour. If we make this task, we'll make $500 this hour. But we were more interested in, I'm happy to make a loss for 3 months, but then I set everything up and then every day I wake up, oh, money's come in. Go out, go to a dinner, look at my phone. Oh, more money's come in. Beautiful. You know, that's the type of businesses we were interested in running and not just setting up one, but setting up multiple and not just having them produce, $50 a day here, $50 a day there. We're talking each of them making 5-6 figures profit a month. That's what we were interested in. By having multiple of them, you're diversified. Your risk is practically zero. It's not like they're all going to shut down in the same day, especially online. That's just not going to happen. Even the pandemic wouldn't have stopped us. If we had the current setup now, if another pandemic happened, I'd be financially fine. I wouldn't even bat an eye. I'd be fine. And so we just looked at setting up another business and we just saw a gap in the market. So we were noticing just from being around and talking to a lot of men, we just noticed that there was this huge demand for OnlyFans, right? And I could see what that was and why that happened. I could just see it from a million miles away. There was so many men out there that they were just looking for, I guess you could say, a connection with women, and they just, no matter what they tried, they couldn't get it in real life. So naturally, they default, even though it's not the real thing, they just default to the internet, be it on just DMing girls on Instagram or whatever. But then once OnlyFans came out and that kind of platform became a bit more popular, it really transitioned to so many people would just, rather than say, for example, going out on a Friday night to a bar with their friends and trying to meet other people of the opposite gender that way, they'd just be like, oh, I'll go on OnlyFans instead. It's too hard. I don't want to get rejected. I'm happy to pay money to get that instead, because that gives them that dopamine hit in their brain or whatever it is, or that feeling of connection that they need to do that. Because in the OnlyFans platform, it's quite funny. On the back end, you don't realize it as a customer, but when you see the back end inside a creator's account, you see, oh my God, this platform is built to be a selling machine. They've got all the metrics. You can click on a customer, you see their lifetime value, their average spend, usually when they'll spend, all the metrics you can think of, plus metrics that I didn't even know exist are in the back end. So you can, as a creator, you look at that and you go, okay, it's been built to be a cash production machine. And yeah, that's truly what it is, because the creators of OnlyFans, they knew that men were going to spend a lot of money on it. So they clearly built it for that reason. Yeah.
I mean, we got to the buzzword.
I was waiting for
it. It's seemingly so taboo, but at the same time, it sort of makes sense. I mean, so OnlyFans has this, I don't know, stigma or taboo, but I think you got to set it up in a way that makes sense when you think about it. Like, no matter where you fall on good, bad, or indifferent as a business, though, and as an exchange, it is an interesting proposition.
It's just an exchange for service. So I've had a lot of people kind of look at me with one eyebrow when I tell them what I do, right? They're like, huh? You do what now?
Yeah.
Are you a pimp? I'm like, no, it's not what you think. I'm not doing that. So it's quite funny, actually. Our highest earning model that we've ever had at Banx, she generates well over 50,000 USD a month. But the thing that it always shocks people, and it's going to shock you. I mean, I've kind of set it up for a shock now, but Ryan, do you think that she gets naked?
I have a feeling that it's no.
Well, yeah, I think
because of what you're setting
what I said, I think, yeah, the answer is no.
But I think the assumption would have been yes.
Yeah, if I didn't give that preamble, you would have said, surely she gets naked, right?
Yeah.
But no, our highest earning model, she does not get naked. She's just a reasonably attractive 21-year-old, goes to the gym, goes to university, and she's just, one of those friendly faces where you could tell, if I've never even met her in real life, just over video calls, but she's a very bubbly, 21, 22-year-old girl, goes to university, goes to gym, normal girl next door, right? And what's the girl next door? Well, most men, that's the type of girl that they're looking to, date up, or, I'd want her to be my girlfriend. They're not looking, I mean, some men are, but most men on OnlyFans, they're not looking for crazy, like erotic
someone
material.
That's, had, 18 surgeries. And
yeah, they're not.
No matter how good it is, but it's clear that it's, every attribute's
altered.
Yeah, altered.
Yeah.
Fake was probably not the word, because it becomes real, I guess, once you have it done.
True.
Altered. And, I think everybody, I could see why the more natural, just friendly, approachable is probably more, I don't know, popular.
It really is. There are a few exceptions to the rule, but if you look at the majority of models that perform well on OnlyFans, it is what we call just those girls next door. They're definitely attractive. They're not necessarily supermodels by any means, but they're the type of girl where, say, a lot of men on OnlyFans are in the 18 to 29 demographic, a lot of them. And usually the higher spending ones are, I guess, a little bit older because they have a bit more disposable income than the 18-year-old with $123.72 in his bank. He'll still spend money, don't you worry. But it's usually that type of demographic that really spends a lot of money on OF from what we've seen from the back end. And we've had more than 1,000 models through our agency by now. So I've seen a lot, and my team have seen a lot of different things, and that's really the conclusion we've come to.
So what's the business here? What does Banx do?
Yeah, so what we essentially do is we help models that we've got two legs of our business. Don't make a play on words there about legs, please. We've got two legs of our business here.
Sounds like you got three, but sorry.
Yeah, we got two legs of our business. So the first one that we, myself and my partner started was we essentially just helped manage models' accounts. So we were pretty good at digital marketing by this stage. We knew how to recruit clients, be they worth $50 million or they might have a net worth of $7. We knew how to attract people's attention and how to get them to exchange, and want to engage in our services. We got pretty good at digital marketing, let's just say that. So it wasn't that difficult for us to recruit our initial models because we started off with one model that was just a friend of a friend. And then from there, she was generating about $5,000 in her first month. And that's when we realized, hang on, we could easily automate this, get a team in, hire someone. And when I say hire someone, we're not necessarily paying them $100,000 a year, they're offshore. So it's quite a high profit margin. So we can hire someone, teach them what we're doing to generate this money. And we could we could recruit 10 models. And if they were each making $40,000, if we take 50%, that's $20,000 a month for doing, honestly, once we hire a couple people, not that much. Because we set up the systems, we know what did work, we know what doesn't work, and we knew how to make maximum efficiency from the accounts by that stage. So yeah, that's essentially what we did. So we started recruiting models quite quickly. We started building out a team, like an organization structure within our team where we had senior managers. Then we had, all right, you're our Instagram specialist. So you're going to be assigned 50 models. You've got all of their logins and passwords. You're going to set up, here's your spreadsheet. Here's how to put everything in your spreadsheet. And you're going to do this many posts per day. We're going to teach you how to write posts on their account. You're going to learn each of your models and understand the types of posts that convert the best for them. So each model's got a tracking sheet for her Instagram and the posts. And then obviously their job is to go in and record the metrics so they can then see, all right, for this girl, this particular type of post works best, and experiment, figure out what works, do more of what does work, less of what doesn't. And the purpose of posting is so that the model can get more followers on Instagram and also get her Instagram followers to convert into followers on OnlyFans. And then once the followers are in OnlyFans on a subscription page for, say, $10 a month, it's then the manager's job inside the account to actually work with the model to get the most conversions as possible in terms of dollars by understanding how to actually communicate with the men that are subscribing to, as I mentioned earlier with ecom, to ascend them. So you're not just looking for a $10 a month sale and that's it. But all right, you get a fan, say a model's got 100 fans. We're looking, it's the 80-20 rule. It's really 80% of the model's income comes from 20% of her fans. So if she's got 100 fans, 20 of them, say if she's making $10,000 a month, real simple numbers, 20 of those fans will contribute to 8,000 of that $10,000 that she makes. And of that 8,000, there's probably 4 of them that have spent about $4,000 inside there.
Yeah, the super fans.
Yeah, it's kind of like the 4% of the 20% of the 20% is 4%. I think, yeah, my math is right. Yeah, 20% of 20% is 4%. So you kind of got like the 4% super fans, the 16% kind of fans, and then the other 80% that are kind of just hanging out, and chances are give it 3 to 6 months and they'll probably cancel their subscription. So that's why we're always looking to bring in new fans each and every single day. For every model, we're looking to at least add 2 new fans to her account. So 60 a month. And as long as the churn rate is less than the new subscription rate, we're happy. And it's usually a little bit more subscribe than churn or cancel their subscription every month. So most of our models' accounts, their fan numbers go up and up and up. And as long as they keep creating new good content that their existing most loyal fans are looking for, their earnings will usually go higher and higher and higher every single month.
How are you generating new fans for them? I mean, it's a common, I get that growing on the social media channels. Are you running ads?
So yeah, for our highest performing models, what we actually do, we say, hey, if you want what we can do, we can take a little bit of a higher clip from you. Rather than 50%, we'll take a fraction more to cover actual ad spend, where then it's not like running a sponsored post, but it's a bit more in disguise than that. So for example, we'll pay another OnlyFans model, say $500, and say, hey, can you please shout out this model? And we don't just pay any model, but say, for example, if she's a gamer girl, we'll pay another gamer girl. If she's a girl next door, like that one I was talking about earlier, we'll find another, it might even be another model in our agency, and we'll get them to shout each other out for free, for example, or we'll pay one external. So that's kind of the best way to do it, paid. But along with Instagram, we don't just run one acquisition channel. We always start with Instagram, but we've also got Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, and the Hinge and Tinder. So those are the primary ones. By doing that, you've got 6 acquisition channels. And yeah, we've usually got one kind of staff member in charge of that. So we got someone that's very good. He knows, okay, I'll log on to the girl's dating app and I know how to get the guy to like the conversion rate. You know, he'll do X swipes a day, and of those X swipes, there needs to be X messages. Of those X messages, there has to be Y people that follow on Instagram. From those Y people that follow on Instagram, Z need to then become a fan within the period of 7 days, for example. And we got systems in there to track all of that.
But essentially, activity on the model's channels,
yes,
to grow her following, which in turn turns into customers.
Yes.
It's the ultimate, like, you know, we joke all the time with social media, you know, especially if you're doing it for business. If your followers aren't customers, then it's just a hobby.
Yeah, correct.
But if, you know, this is the ultimate, if you're a model, you're trying to get followers. That
oh yeah, customers. For the models, having an Instagram following is huge. Like,
so that, you know, but so your people are managing all those channels for the model.
Yes. And that's why I suppose the models hire us. So, and we tell them this, you know, we've got it all systemized. Whenever a model's interested in working with us, they don't need to hop on the phone. We've got a video. We'll run marketing. They'll come, they'll watch a video. Then if they're interested, we've just got someone who's on Telegram. We've got shifts. So they're on Telegram or WhatsApp or text, whatever channel the girl wants to use. Occasionally they'll want a phone call. They'll give them a phone call. But usually they're happy to just text. And after they watch the video, we just ask them, hey, like, do you like the sound of it? What questions do you have? They're trained. They know the answer to every question that the models have. And if they're interested, we'll send them a contract. You know, this isn't some dodgy type. As I said ages ago, this isn't like a virtual pimp. It's not what you think. It's a legitimate business. We're a talent management agency, right?
Well, and here's the deal.
We just happen to use OnlyFans for a lot of our, not all of them, but for a lot of our clients, we leverage OnlyFans. Yeah.
I'll tell people, for anyone that might be going down that path, and look, I have kids and I don't have daughters, but if I did, you know, I would think about this, but you have to reframe your mind around this notion. So let's say you have a daughter or a 20-year-old that fits these characteristics. Somehow we would be okay if she was in Sports Illustrated, if she was on Vogue half naked. We would think that would be respectable.
Yeah.
Because she's being leveraged through those channels, and that's respectable. Mm. When, again, if we're not talking about pornography and we're talking about, you know, being a model, doing model things.
Yeah.
What's the difference between her monetizing directly herself?
Nothing.
Or Vogue magazine putting her half naked in it? But we're okay with that.
Nothing.
So that's the moral. See, the moral difference here is we've made something seem okay and we're tabooing something else.
Yeah.
And so if you can wrap your head around the fact that some smart people are choosing to monetize directly the same attributes that other media typically monetizes in an up and up way.
I think everything, everyone's heard the saying sex sells.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily mean pornography, but it's just when even a fashion brand, if they're promoting clothes, they're going to get a nice, attractive, if they're selling men's clothes, it's going to be a good looking guy usually modeling the clothes. And if it's girls' clothes, it's going to be a good looking
Speaking
girl.
of that, is there a market for guys and women on this? Or
So,
just girls only?
Interesting question, but we've tried, but primarily it does work a lot better for
Something
girls.
about the psychology of women and
the psychology it's different. And yeah, as I mentioned, the key reason, there are some different people out there, let's just say that, where they are just going to OnlyFans to pay for, you know, explicit content.
Yes.
But the majority of men that go on OnlyFans as customers, they're usually, not all the time, not by any means, but usually from what we've found by looking at the messages, because I've seen hundreds of thousands of messages, they are just men that are looking for a connection. And that's why that girl next door archetype I was talking about before works so well, because they're not necessarily looking to talk to a big porn star. They're looking to talk to a girl where they think, oh, I could picture myself realistically being, her boyfriend type thing.
Right.
And that's really what they're looking for. And that's why those personal videos work so well. They'll say, hey, let's say the girl's name is Maddie. They'll say, oh, hey, Maddie, can you shoot me a video in your red bikinis at the pool just saying, hey, I'm going for a swim. I'd love for you to be here with me. They'll do it. And those men will pay $50, $80, $100 for that. 15-second video, and maybe the girl's, got the camera up high. She looks real nice in it with some good angles. And the girls, they know how to do that. And most women these days, they know how to take good pictures on Instagram. So it's not really that crazy. And yeah, like our highest earning model, she's never once gotten naked, like you said. On Vogue, they don't get naked. On Sports Illustrated, at least to my knowledge, they don't get naked. Even some Playboy models did not get naked, right?
Yeah.
And it's the exact same thing with us. So we've got some models that they are genuinely porn stars, but they're not making crazy money. They're making maybe $2,000, $3,000 here. Then the girl, she's just a nice girl next door. She's making $50,000 a month. Never once does she do anything remotely explicit, PG rated content. She just talks to her fans and they just keep paying her because they like her. Not necessarily because they like some crazy double backflip, maneuvers in the bedroom. It's just because they just really like that connection with her.
Go figure.
Yeah, and that's usually the type of client we look for, and also the type of clients that we, I guess, encourage people to promote to, because that's what we've found works the best for people that are under our Banx Management licensing program as well.
But at the end of the day, this is a talent management company.
Yes.
I mean, am I simplifying it? But is that in a lot of ways what it is?
It really is just talent management. So we work on anything external besides from taking the pictures. All the models do is take the pictures and videos.
You guys don't get involved in the content at all.
We give them direction if they need it. But I mean, most of these girls, they're pretty smart. They know.
They've seen enough
examples on Instagram. Yeah.
Right. That's really fascinating. I think, I don't think this is not a business model that, anyone and everyone just stumbles upon or hears about.
Yeah.
And so, fascinating how many different ways there are to make a dollar.
There are a lot of ways.
Talk to me about what are the downsides of this business? Is it just purely an acquisition, the right talent acquisition?
So the most difficult part for sure with running this business, setting up the systems took a while. Luckily, me and my business partner, we'd set up very complicated systems for e-commerce businesses and sales agencies, things like that. Their systems are quite involved when you're going into CRMs and being a tech nerd and all of that. With this business, it's really just training staff on how to use spreadsheets. So as long as you've got the spreadsheets and as long as you've got the training and as long as, say, your managers have the training so they know how to post, it's not like, say, if you wanted to start up this business, because we're not the only people doing it. I just think we're the best at doing it. Mm-hmm. There's not just, the managers, they need to get training so they understand how to manage these models to monetize them in the most effective way. The people that are on TikTok and Instagram, they need training to understand how to find what's trending. The people on Tinder and Hinge, they need training to understand how to convert people from those acquisition channels to the Instagram, to the OnlyFans platform, right? So it's really just about having the right training in place so that when you hire people, they're not just clicking buttons and doing stuff. They're actually doing needle-moving activities which generate revenue, and having systems in the back end so everything's tracked, simplified and there's no chaos. Because if you didn't have any of these tracking systems, if you just told people, all right, do what you want, well, there would be a lot of chaos. But when it's actually systemized in a manner where you've got a small finance department, you've got a small marketing department, you've got a small sales department, and you've got a small operations department, which is how we run it, although it's not small. But if you're starting it up, those departments are small. Then you've actually got a proper company. You know, if you've got someone who is in control of the finance department, then, you know, you're all set. You're someone who's in control of this job role, that job role. That's when you've got a business that actually works. Like we've got right now about 300 people that have actually partnered with Banx Management to create their own version of this agency where genuinely we white label everything. All they need to do, and we do it for them, or we show them exactly how to do it. They just need to create their own branding and they get all of our systems copy paste. So all of our training, all of our like the training to give their staff, all of the spreadsheets, all of the tracking, all of the KPIs that everyone needs to hit, how to hire people, job posts even, or if they want, we can help, we can do, you know, recruit their employees for them. Because there are a lot of people that heard about this business model and said, hey, Michael, can I do it? And it started off as just a, yeah, sure, I'll show you how to do it. But then we realized, hang on, there aren't just a few people that want to do this. There are thousands, if not tens of thousands of people. And there is the market for it. There is millions and millions and millions of OnlyFans creators out there, or girls that are looking to become a creator, be it explicit or not explicit. And there are hundreds of millions of men on OnlyFans buying this content every single day. The market, it's getting bigger and bigger. It's not dying. So yeah, what me and my business partner decided to do, we started up a licensing program where people can essentially get our license, where they receive 5 years of support from us directly in our client success team. And they get instant access to a copy-paste white-labeled system where they can be up and running in 7 days with their first model making profit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, not many systems or businesses you can invest in and say that about.
Yeah, I mean, this was the first business I started. I mean, when I started an e-commerce store, I had to build my website and get the product in and do product research and spend thousands of dollars on ads or email lists. And, you know, you had to put a serious chunk of money in, at least 10 grand to really get something going. But with this OnlyFans agency, me and my business partner genuinely started this for free. We had one model. I guess we were pretty familiar with the online space. We had a bit of an advantage there. But yeah, we had one model, and then we just used the first month's profit from that model, which was about $4,000, reinvested that $4,000 into marketing, and we recruited another 10 models. And yeah, from there we made about, I think it was 30,000 in our second month, 50 to 70 in our third. By our fourth month, we were making well over $150,000. And yeah, after about 6 months of running, we'd cracked $1 million in revenue.
Wow.
Yeah, within 6 months. And I'd started a couple businesses before this one, mostly e-commerce. Most of them hit the 6-figure mark quite quickly, but none of them got to 7 figures at that pace. I was genuinely shocked because I did not think at the time that there was a market for this, but now it's just consistently hit that. And we're like, okay, this is here to stay. And that's why we're, you know, also helping people to start their own, because we know, and a lot of our clients, they're also making, when they're started, even say 55-year-old lawyers, one of our top clients, he's like a 55-year-old lawyer. He works maybe 3 hours on this business because we helped him get the right staff to manage it. And we just showed him what to do as the owner of the business. We helped him find a general manager that does, you know, the 40-hour week. And yeah, he just sits there and kind of owns the bank account and speaks with the general manager once a day to just see if he needs any help. And usually the GM will just ask my team for help anyway.
What's the, as far as models go and recruitment, what percentage are new models that have never been on OnlyFans versus ones that have been kicking this ball down the road and it's not working for them?
Good question. So yeah, we've actually got 2 different types of marketing we use and that we teach. One is, as you said, one type of marketing that speaks to, and we actually target existing OnlyFans models. And one type of marketing that speaks to girls that are not on OnlyFans, and we show them how, hey, you don't need to get naked to do this. Obviously, a lot of girls I'd have a reservation about getting naked on a video, right? I wouldn't want to do that personally. But if someone said, hey, Michael, you could do this just wearing a swimsuit, like, you know, just like I'm at the beach, I'd go, I'd do that for 10 grand a month, you know, say if I didn't already have a lot of businesses going.
Sure.
I'd be like, yeah, I'd be a swimsuit model for 10 grand a month. I don't need to do anything crazy. Nope. Okay. Done. And that's pretty much what we show girls that aren't on OnlyFans. And with the way we do it, it really just depends how much money we spend. So if we spent all of our money to market to existing OnlyFans models, all of our clients would be existing. But if we spent all of our money on new talent, then all of our talent would be new talent. So that's really what it is. There are thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands new content creators starting every single day. So there is no shortage, no saturation there. It's really just who you want to target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's probably just finding the right blend of look, attitude,
correct,
willingness. Because you have to find, like you said, it's not about just the pretty face and pretty body or whatever. I mean, that matters, but like, it's probably the right combination of
it's really
willingness to participate and do these things and be active, right?
Yeah.
Like not the salacious stuff, but just in general.
Yeah. It's really down to when the models, all we say is, hey, if you want to be successful at this, I mean, we've had some models come on board that make maybe $300 and then give up, and they say, oh, why didn't I make any money? Well, it took you 2.5 weeks to respond to our message request. Like when a man asks for some content, it took you 2 weeks to shoot it. Of course, he's not going to then pay 2 weeks later. However, if, say, for example, she's willing to spend 30 minutes a day taking some photos, she'll send it to us so we've got it in the back end so we can send it out whenever a man asks for something similar. And she's available within 24 hours to make a quick 15-second video.
Yeah.
Because that 15-second video, say at nighttime, say she's out she gets a message at 3 p.m. A guy will message in and say, hey, I want to see a picture of you in your lingerie set. Okay, sure. I'll take 10 pictures for you for $50. How does that sound? Yeah, awesome. So we've either got that content already, or if the model's not home, we'll just send her a message in our internal system and say, hey, 1, do you want to shoot this? 2, when will you be available to shoot it if you do? The model will say, yeah, I'm happy to take a picture of my lingerie. I'll be home at 8 o'clock. Awesome. We'll then reach out back to the customer and say, hey, I'm just out right now doing shopping or whatever. I'll be back home a little bit later. I'll send it to you before you go to bed. Don't worry, baby. XOXO.
Right.
And yeah, from there it's, the man gets what he wants, and the girl does it in her own time. So everyone's happy, you know?
Yep. AR, VR, they talk about all that with all the stuff when in reality, I mean, this is sort of, you know, the first step of that, right? Like, you know, virtual reality versus, you know, people can convince themselves they just, you know, but it's more just people are lonely.
Yes, it really is.
You know, like they're home, and I mean,
it really is. I mean, I've seen inside at the very start running the company, I was actually the primary manager and the primary person focusing on, I learned each platform how to promote the best. Then I'd record myself doing it so I could train my staff. And then I made an actual structured, logical training rather than just me recording myself, just sharing my thoughts, where it was just me talking and doing stuff. Then I actually systemized it because we were hiring a lot of people every day. We were making a new hire every day for whatever job role it might be. And then eventually, I systemized that into a full system that we now just genuinely give to our licenses that start up with us. And that's the primary reason, one of the reasons why we systemized it so much, because so many people said, Michael, I want to learn how to do this. I said, all right, hold up. I could show you, but it would be a lot easier if you just gave me like a couple months. I'm going to create a very good program from absolute A to Z, step by step, how to hire people, how to start up, how to literally do everything. And also if people are happy to, we'll just do it for them. If say they're 55 years old and a lawyer, for example, and they're like, I've got too much time reading books and writing contracts. Can you just set it up for me and I'll just kind of spend a couple hours on it per week? We can also accommodate that type of person as well. Yeah.
How do people learn how to get more information about all that?
Yeah, so you can follow Banx Management on Instagram. So it's at BANXMGMT. You can follow me on Instagram at Michael Noicos. So Michael, AEL, NOICOS. But for the best information, just go on YouTube and type in Michael Noicos Banx Management on YouTube, or just Michael Noicos, my channel. And that is where you'll get the best information, where I actually go into depth, run through the numbers, run through the KPIs, and just show you actually what is required to set up one of these agencies and have it profitable within 7 days.
Hey, hard to argue with that. Who doesn't want to be profitable in 7 days?
Oh, it was. I was profitable in 1 hour when we started, but I don't want to make that crazy of a claim. But within 7 days, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. You never know. There's so many different ways to start alternative businesses and do things. But I don't know. I think it's enlightening for our listeners is to learn that. And then, there's a lot of different perspectives about the platform. And, I'm not here to judge it, make you feel okay about it or not okay about it. But it's fascinating to learn all the subplots around it.
Yeah.
But appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, Ryan.
Hey, guys, you're going to find us, RyanIsRight.com. You'll find all the highlight clips from today, all the info and links to this platform. Hey, a lot of ways to make money. We're just here to help you learn all those different avenues. We'll see you next time on Right About Now.
To listen or watch full episodes of Right About Now on the web, go to RyanIsRight.com or follow at Ryan Alford on all social media platforms.